So we'll get started. This evening's practice is it's a strong, hot practice. We're working towards either aeroplanes or Eka Pada Koundinyasa. So we're going to see how we go. But first of all, let's just take a few moments to check in. So before we do anything, a couple of blocks and something that's like a belt or a strap handy is always good. You may or may not need them. And make sure you have a clear area around your mat to keep you safe during your practice. And yeah, just go with what feels right in your body, okay? So skipping a vinyasa if you need to, coming through into dog, or even taking a few rounds of breath in child's pose if you need to. But we're going to start off on our backs. So come and lay down on your backs, and we're going to start off in reclined tree pose. So lying on your back, just extend your left leg out and bend your right knee, and then take your right knee out to the side so the sole of the right foot is pressing against the upper inner left thigh. Okay, now if it feels good in your rotator cuffs, you can clasp alternate elbows above your head. If you're a little bit tight in the shoulder area and that doesn't feel good, take your arms into a goalpost position out by the sides of your body. And just let your heart open for a few moments. And just work on taking a nice full yogic breath, filling up the belly, allowing the ribcage to expand into the back body and fill up as far as the collarbones. And then a nice slow exhale from the collarbones into the ribcage. And lastly, let the belly empty fully, feeling the navel draw in towards the spine. And just keep going in that way. Big breath in, fill up. Nice and steady and slow. Hold perhaps for a moment at the top. And then exhaling nice and slow, feeling the breastbone dropping down, feeling the rib cage corseting in, feeling the navel drawing inwards and down. Good. And another couple of those here. And if you need support behind the back of that right thigh, you have your blocks to hand. I should have said that earlier. But hopefully you're feeling okay there, comfortable. And one more round there. Hold it in. Exhaling nice and slow. Okay, and then you're just going to take a moment and just notice how the physical body is feeling this evening, feeling your bones heavy against the floor there. Allow yourself to feel those points where you connect with your mat beneath you, sinking into those points. And keeping with that nice, slow, steady flow of breath, perhaps you can just take a moment and really just check in with yourself. And just be prepared to work with whatever you've got this evening. So if that means pulling back, you go ahead and do that. Okay? Please do that. And then from here, we're going to take Ardha Padmasana, so it's a half lotus pose. And you can either do this with a belt, which I will demonstrate, or your hand. So you can just take the belt around your right ankle, and then take the belt into your left hand. And then you simply place the outer edge of the right foot up, roughly at the top of that left leg. Everybody's going to be different here, and just gently let the right knee drop downwards, and that's going to look differently for a lot of people, okay? And you can also hold on to the ankle or the foot there and just let it drop down. So just getting into the front of the hip a little bit here. And if that really doesn't feel good in your body, you can just hang out there in your reclined tree pose still, if that's working enough for you. So continuing with that slow, steady breath, perhaps adding that constriction to the back of the throat, so ujjayi breath starts to kick in, that audible breath. Two more here. So we're really working on opening up the hips this evening for preparation for our peak pose. And then you can release the belt over to the side and just take it into Ardha Appanasana, half happy baby pose, by taking the grip around the outer edge of that right foot. Now if you need to slide the bottom leg in so you don't feel quite so much of an opening in the front of the hip, that's also fine. Feel free to move with this one as you exhale, just like you're pulling a pint, dropping the right knee down towards the floor there, towards the outer hip. Inhaling and releasing, exhaling, small movements. I'm just exaggerating it here. Okay, so just nice and gentle encouragement of opening in the hip. Two more breaths here. And then exhale, release. Okay, let's take a little twist, single leg twist here. Just hug that right knee in towards the midline of the body here, but taking a grip just underneath the knee. Hug it in. And then we're going to take that right knee across towards the left. So shift your hips over towards the right, make some room. Does not feel good. Maybe a few clicks up and down the spine there. And encourage that right shoulder blade down onto the floor, looking out and over the right shoulder. Just let the bones in that right leg be heavy. And notice if you're carrying tension in your eyes or your jaw from perhaps efforting too much. Maybe you came to the mat with a little bit more than you bargained for, and see if you can soften a little bit there. The more you soften in the face and the jaw, the more that carries through into the practice and your body begins to ease up and give you a little bit more freedom instead of forcing. So keep on with that ujjayi breath, and that will really help you begin to relax into your practice a little bit more deeply. Exhale. Inhale. Lift it up. Exhale. Release that right leg down, and we'll do the same series of moves on the second side. So firstly, tree pose. So bend the left knee, extending the right leg. Take the outer left knee towards the floor, the sole of the left foot towards the inner upper right thigh. Block underneath the back of the left thigh if you don't have as much external rotation as all of that. Okay, so supporting yourself as you know. Clasp opposite hand to elbow, probably the same as myself. Up here or into goalpost position. Good. Take the tailbone down towards the bottom of the mat there. Feel the belly pulling inwards. Turning on the core a little bit. Knitting the lower ribs down. Next inhale, pressing mid to low back into the floor. Just waking the abdominals up nice and gently in preparation for rolling up. Two more here. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. So let's take Ardha Padmasana, belt or hand, okay? So right hand to the outer left ankle or foot, depending on where it is. And if that's too far away, just use your lasso. And then you're moving the left knee down towards your feet in that general direction, okay? Just be gentle on the knees, big torque in there, so don't force. And if that's not feeling good, come back to the pose we did before, the reclined tree. Two more breaths here. Okay, and then exhale it out, release, and then back to half happy baby. So take your left hand around the outer edge of the left foot, bringing the left knee down towards the outer left hip. Feel free to bend that bottom leg if you need. It can also give you a little bit more room to reach around to grab the foot, and go ahead and just rock it out to the side and then release it. So you're getting that nice massage around the edges of the sacrum on the left side. And the last thing we're going to do here is take that single leg twist. So take your last rock here, then hug that left knee in towards the midline. Extending the bottom leg out. Hug it in. Good. And then take it across the body. So shift it over to the right. Shift your hips over to the left. Just pressing down on the outer left thigh with the right hand. And then take your gaze over the left shoulder. Your left arm can come up and overhead if that feels good. Back into a goal post, or just relax it down a little bit further down by your sides. Whatever feels right for you. Should feel that nice opening there in the front of the chest, front left side of the chest, into the pecs. Okay, exhale. Inhale, bring it back up to center, and then bend both knees and lift the feet off the floor. And you're just going to take your hands around the front of the shins there. Lift the head off the floor. You're going to start to rock forwards and backwards, just rounding the back and just enjoying that massage up and down the spine. Good. Just rocking it a few times back and forth. And then see if you can just hold it the next time you rock up. Just hold. Yeah? And then roll back down again. Keep the head uplifted and rolled in. That's it. And then hold. And then roll back again. And then the last one, to see if you can hold and stay. Okay? Hold and stay. Release the legs. Maybe start to straighten them out a little bit. If your low back is at you, feel free to put one foot on the floor. And then see if you can get into Savasana. Gaze up towards your big toes, lift the heart, tone the belly. Good, and hold, hold, and hold. Exhale, cross the ankles, roll forward, make your way into downward facing dog. Okay, now taking your hands shoulder distance apart here. Spread the fingers, press the fingertips into the floor. And then from there, draw right up into the arms, hug the muscles into the bones, right into the back of the heart. Draw the sides of the neck back in line with the upper arms, dropping the top of the head down towards the floor. Tone the belly. Feet are hip distance apart, or inner hip distance apart to be more accurate. And then hiding your heels, soften your knees. And then engaging the legs, drawing from the earth right up into the center of the pelvis. Good, draw your inner thighs back and apart. Nice and strong.
Keep the tone in your belly. Exhale. One more. Exhale. Inhale. Lift your right leg up towards the ceiling. Three-legged dog. You're going to feel that in the back of the left leg. So keep the toes and knees of the right leg pointing down. That's it. No external rotation. Keep it pointing down. That's it. And on your exhale, bring your right knee in towards your right elbow. Right knee in towards the right elbow. Shift your weight forward, lift the heart. Good. And then exhale, bring it back, three-legged dog. Let's try that again. Exhale, shift the weight forward, right knee to elbow. Inhale, bring it back. One more time. Exhale, shift it forward, knee to elbow. Inhale, bring her back. Good. Then bend the knee, stack the hips, then bring that right heel behind your left buttock there. And see if you can square off the chest so you're lifting up into the left armpit as well as the right. Good. Stretching out the psoas, the front of the right hip. Spread across the toes of the right foot. Inhale, straighten that leg, three-legged dog. Exhale, set the right foot down onto the floor. Bring the knees down, take them wide, heels closer together, child's pose. Take 2 breaths here and we'll take it on to the second side. Yeah, I told you it was going to be a warm one. All right, let's make your way back up into downward facing dog. Finding it, get comfortable in it. And then inhale your left leg up towards the sky, three-legged dog. All right. Exhale, left knee to left elbow. Shift your weight forward so the shoulders come over the wrists. Inhale, bring it back. Exhale, bring it forward. Inhale and back. Exhale, last one forward. Inhale, bring it back. Exhale, bend the knees, stack the hips, bring the left heel behind the right buttock, and then correct the front of the body, which all too often twists. I'm even doing it towards the left. So lift up into the right armpit, square off the chest to the floor, much more stronger and balanced pose. Spread across the toes of the left foot. Good, inhale, straighten the leg. Exhale, set the foot downward facing dog. Well done. Okay, so from here, take an inhale and shift the weight into the left foot so right leg gets light, three-legged dog. On your exhale, bend the knee in towards the right elbow again, shift your weight forward again. Good, and then step your foot in between your hands. Bring your back knee to the floor, low lunge. Go ahead and use a couple of blocks if you like. Just starting to open up the front of the left hip into the hip flexors there. So press the toenails of the left foot down into the floor. Let the tailbone move down, so let the hips get really heavy. And then just have a quick look at the front knee. See that the front knee doesn't become beyond the big toe. Okay? So if it does, just take your weight back, toe heel your front foot forward, and then sink your hips again. Good. Now make your spine long, so the tailbone is dropping down. Lift the chest forward. Getting deeper into that. And just because we're warming up, feel free to move around a little bit so you can drop that out, or left hip down. See how that feels in the body. It's a slight twist towards the right there. So the psoas muscles here we're working, those are big fellas. They take a while to open up, that's why we're going to do lots of lunges. Take it nice and slow. And then maybe shift the weight back again. Drop the tailbone down again, lift the heart. Okay, let's make our way through a vinyasa. You can pop the blocks to the side if you don't want them. Okay, so step the right foot back into a plank, lift the heart. All right, exhale, chaturanga, or knees, hips, floor. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Press the toenails into the floor. Bring those arm bones back and lift the heart. Elbows in.
Exhale, toes under, knees lift, hips lift, downward facing dog. Okay, let's take that onto the second side. We'll take another breath here. Exhale it out. Inhale, left leg lifts. On your exhale, just shift your weight forward. Bring that left knee to the left elbow. Why not? A little bit of extra work. And then divert it into between those two hands. Bring the foot to the floor. Bring the back knee to the floor. Sink the hips. Find your low lunge. Tailbone down. Long spine. Drop the hips. It feels so juicy opening up into the front of the hips there. Can get really tight from sitting, driving a lot, tension. So really taking a few moments to really get deep in there. Feel free to move it towards the outer right hip a little bit more if that feels nice in your body. Then bringing it back to center. Okay, let's make our way into a vinyasa. Ready to roll the toes, the back foot under. Press back to plank, lift the heart. Inhale, plank. Exhale, take chaturanga halfway down. Inhale up to cobra or up dog. So you choose the variation of vinyasa you'd like to take. Downward facing dog. And if you want to skip the vinyasa, go ahead and do that. Just come straight into dog or child's pose. But we're not quite at the child's pose stage yet, I hope. Okay, let's take it again. Right leg lifts, three-legged dog. Exhale, let's bring it straight into a low lunge. Step the foot in between the hands and bring the back knee to the floor. Come onto your fingertips or use the blocks. Low lunge. So starting to feel that warmth, that heat building in the center of the pelvis. As we move through, let's shift the hips back now, bringing it into Ardha Hanumanasana, half runner's lunge. You can take the blocks with you if you need. Lift the toes of the right foot, keep the hips high, and then bring the outer right hip back, outer left hip forward, so your hips become more squared. Lift the heart, soft right knee, and fold a little bit or a lot over the front leg. Use your Ujjayi breath. So now working deep into the hamstrings. But this is just the opener, so take it handy, plenty of time. Okay, and then inhale, just shift the weight forward here. And you're just going to roll the toes under and then lift the back knee up off the floor, Parsvattanasana. So if your hands are going, oh my God, the floor is awful far away, that's when the blocks come in handy again. Okay, either side of the front foot. Again, draw the outer right hip back and the outer left hip forward, squaring off those hips. And you can come up as high as you like here. Okay? Good. Just feeling that opening in the backs of the legs. Parsvattanasana, pyramid pose. Soften the knees, no hyperextending. Good. Drop the head down, folding in even more. Okay, and then exhale, let's just drop that back knee to the floor, come back into your low lunge, come onto your fingertips, lift your heart. 2 breaths, and then take it through a vinyasa, please. So release hands to the floor, right leg to the back leg, heart forward, plank, exhale to chaturanga, inhale up dog,
Exhale, downward facing dog. Okay, 3 breaths here, please. Drop to your knees if you need a breather for those 3. Okay, let's take that onto the second side. Inhale, your left leg lifts, 3-legged dog. On your exhale, step it through to meet your hands, low lunge, come on down. Blocks or no blocks. Hopefully feeling things are opening up a little bit more. Lift the heart, find length in the spine. Two more here. Last one. And then exhaling, just shift your hips back, coming into Ardha Hanumanasana. Walk your hands back, keep the hips high. Lift the toes of the front foot and fold over that front leg. Micro bend in the front knee, folding. Draw the outer left hip back. One more here. Exhale, releasing. Okay, so bring the weight forward, heading towards pyramid pose. Blocks if you need them, roll the toes of the back foot, lift the back knee. So now your two sets of feet are pointing forwards. Your back heel is hopefully on the ground. If it's a little bit further off the ground than you'd like, maybe step the foot forward a little bit more and soften the knees. Okay, see how that works. You can also put something underneath the back heel there. And just take a few rounds of breath to really open up the backs of the legs a little bit more deeply. Drawing the outer left thigh back, outer right thigh forward, and folding in a little bit of a lot. Let's just take 2 more rounds of breath here, please. And then exhale, soften the front knee, bring it into a low lunge, sink the hips onto the fingertips. Good, another breath here, exhale it out. And then make your way through a vinyasa, please. So, chaturanga or knees, hips. Chest, inhale to cobra or up dog, exhale knees and hips back, downward facing. 3 breaths here, please. Quick look at the hands, you pressing those fingertips into the floor, rooting down into the inner margin of the hands, drawing into the back of the heart, and last breath, and exhale. Okay, inhale, lift your right leg, 3-legged dog. Exhale, step it forward, low lunge, no surprises there. Bring the back knee to the floor, fingertips onto the floor, rise up with the heart. Sink the hips. One more. Exhale, roll the toes of the back foot under and come into crescent lunge. But before you release the floor, strongly engage your legs. So push into the front heel, draw the outer right hip back, lifting up through the the back inner margin of the back leg. Good, strong legs, lift up, whoop, crescent lunge. Take your arms up towards the sky. Tailbone moves down, ribs drawing in, tone the belly. Sink down into that front leg. See if you can get a nice right angle between your thigh and your calf. One more. Exhale, spin the back heel to the floor, coming into warrior one. Good, square the chest off to the front of your mat. Nice strong stretch through the arms, but from the fingertips draw into the back of the heart. Find that engagement. Hugging right in towards the midline. Inhale, drawing in. Exhale, expressing outwards. One more. And then exhale, release the hands and see if you can clasp them behind your back. Lift the chest as you do. Good. And then we're just going to fold forward to humble warrior. Bringing your body down onto the inside of that front leg. Drop the top of the head down and lift the hands off the back. Strongly engage those legs. Inhale. Exhale, expressing down into the earth. Inhale, engaging, strengthening the legs. Drawing the outer right thigh in toward the midline. Exhale, back down into the earth. One more of those. And then exhale, drop your right hand to the floor on the inside of the right foot. You can use a block there if you need to. Then push into the inner right thigh with the back of the arm. Good. Keep the outer right hip moving in toward the midline there. Okay. And then take your left hand onto your left hip. Lean back into that leg as that leg draws right in towards the midline so that you can spin the chest up towards the sky. Good. Now look down if you're wobbly, otherwise challenge your balance by looking up, up, up. And then bring your left arm up and overhead. Parsvakonasana. Good. Root down into the outer edge of that back foot. Push into the inner right thigh with your arm and push the right thigh into your arm. That's it. Good. 2 more breaths here. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, 2 hands to the floor, either side of the front foot. Take a vinyasa. Go to downward facing dog or take a breather. Inhale to plank. Exhale, chaturanga or knees, hips, chest. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, toes, knees, hips. Downward facing. Take 3 breaths here, please. Exhale. Use your dry breath. Strong and slow. Exhale. And last one. Exhale. Let's do it again. Second side. Inhale, your left leg lifts, 3-legged dog. On your exhale, step it through to meet your hands. Low lunge, bring the back knee to the floor. Sink the hips. Should be feeling kind of nice now. Kind of restful. Good, lift the heart. One more here. Exhale, roll the toes of the back foot, lift up, crescent lunge. Now, engage the legs. Draw the upper inner back thigh up towards the ceiling. So strong back leg and keep drawing the left heel back towards the back toes. Good. Strong legs. Lift up. Tailbone down, heart lifts. Sink down into those legs, nice and strong. Crescent lunge. Knit those lower ribs down. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Inhale. And then exhale, spin the back heel to the floor, warrior 1. Warrior 1. Okay, good. Now keep the outer left thigh moving back. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more. Inhale. Exhale. Release the hands. Clasp them with the other index finger on top. Okay? Same as before. Lift the heart. Draw the arm bones back. Nice and strong. Engage the legs. Good. Fold forward. Humble warrior. Drop the head down towards the floor. Lift the hands. If you're unsteady, bring the hands to the floor. Inhale. Exhale. Release the head and neck. Inhale. Exhale. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. And then exhale. Take that right hand onto the hip, left hand to the floor on the inside of the front foot. Then start to push back into that inner left thigh. And with the outer left thigh, you draw in towards the midline. Okay? Push down into that outer edge of the back foot. Keep that strength and spin the chest up towards the sky. Maybe look up, look down if you're wobbly. Then take the right arm up and overhead. Spin the chest again. Inhale. Exhale. This is where the heat really builds. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. 2 more, please. You're nearly there. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Exhale. 2 hands to the floor. Vinyasa, downward facing dog or child's pose. Lift the heart. Exhale. Chaturanga. Inhale. Cobra or up dog. Exhale. Downward facing dog. Okay, now I'm just looking at the time. I think we have enough time to make our way through that vinyasa. 1 more time each side, but just with 1 breath in each pose, okay? So it won't feel so intense. So 2 more breaths here, please. Inhale. And exhale. All right, take an inhale, right leg lifts, 3-legged. Exhale, low lunge, step it through. Bring it down. Feels like a cinch, right? Inhale. Exhale, roll the toes of the back foot, lift up, crescent lunge. Next inhale rises you up, find it. Take an extra inhale here. Exhale, spin the back heel to the floor. Okay, warrior 1, inhale. Exhale, take a clasp behind, lift the chest. Fold forward, humble warrior. Drop the top of the head down. Keep those legs nice and strong. Inhale. Exhale, take the left hand to the hip, right hand to the floor on the inside of the front foot. Spin the chest up towards the sky. Push into the inner right thigh. Push the right thigh in towards the midline. Left arm up. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Inhale. Exhale, take it through vinyasa or straight to downward facing dog. Lift the heart, chaturanga or knees, hips, heart. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward facing. 3 breaths, last side to do. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last one, inhale. Exhale. Okay, let's take it to the last side. Left leg lifts, 3-legged dog. Exhale, step it through, low lunge. Back knee to the floor. Inhale. Exhale, roll the toes, back foot, crescent lunge. Find the engagement in the legs and rise up. Good. Inhale. Exhale, just take the back heel to the floor. Warrior 1. Inhale. Exhale, humble warrior. Clasp the hands the other way, other index finger on top, lift the heart. Then exhale and fold. Okay, if you're wobbly, release the hands to the floor, drop the head down, release the neck. Inhale. Exhale, release the hands. Left hand to a block or the floor on the inside of the front foot. Spin the chest, knit the outer left thigh in. Take the right arm up and overhead. Spin the heart. Inhale. Exhale. 2 more here. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Take it through vinyasa or straight to downward facing dog. Heart. Chaturanga. Up dog. Cobra. Exhale. Downward facing dog. 3 breaths here, please. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Okay, so just drop to your knees for a sec. Take a breather. So I'll just go through what we're going to work at for the next few minutes. We're going to take another, we're not even going to take vinyasa, we're going to step it through into dragon pose just to really get deeply into the hips. We're going to take the front, so we're going to take the front hand underneath here and work into aeroplanes. We were working on this before. So basically you're snuggling in your right arm behind the back of the right calf. Good. And then from there, what we can do, and this is purely optional, is work our way to Eka Pada Koundinyasa. And that's simply taking your hands, make sure they're in chaturanga position, shoulder distance apart, elbows bent. Keep the chest lifting forward, okay? And then you simply toe heel your right foot out in a diagonal until it starts to get light. And then you can squeeze the back of the leg into the back of the right arm and maybe find an arm balance or just hold it. Okay, so this is what it looks like. Okay, spread the toes. And then when you're finished, downward facing. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. So when you're ready, make your way into downward facing dog. Lots of fun. And inhale, your right leg lifts. Exhale, step it through to the outer edge of your mat and bring your back knee to the floor. We're just going to take it into dragon, get a little deeper into the hips. Let the hips sink down. Now if you want deeper, the options bring the elbows to the floor or to a block. And you can also lift the back knee up off the floor. Okay, so let the hips sink. Good. You can roll onto the outer edge of that right foot a little bit more, getting a little bit more deeply in. That might help you get the elbows to the floor and find the length in the spine again. So reach the heart forward. Okay. Then lift up onto the hands. And I'd like you to lift the knee of the back leg up off the floor. Just walk the right foot in towards the midline a little bit more so you can take your right hand around the back. And then snuggle that right upper arm or shoulder into the back of the front leg. And keep the heart moving forward as you press back with the leg, press forward with the chest. Alright, then see if you can tent the fingers. Alright, maybe get nice and light. Maybe take aeroplanes, keep the heart lifting forward. Pushing into the back of that right leg. Or maybe just holding it here, that's also cool. Okay, and then maybe, if you fancy it, take your hands into chaturanga, claw the floor, and then toe heel the front foot out in a diagonal, getting nice and light until such a point that you can keep the heart lifted, keep the elbows in, and then find the arm balance. So lift up the back foot, spread the toes, good, and then maybe take it back through a vinyasa or not, or just collapse in a heap on the floor, but make sure you're smiling when you do it. Such fun. Okay, so it doesn't matter how you got on there, there's plenty of work to be done and lots of fun to be had with those. So no judgment, just enjoying the moment. And then we take it onto the second side. So grab yourself a couple of breaths of air. And then we're going to make it up into downward facing dog. Okay. And then easily left leg lifts. Step it forward to the outer rail of the mat for lizard. Okay, hands to the floor or to blocks. Toe heel that foot out to the edge of the mat. If it's not there already, maybe roll onto the outer edge of the foot. Maybe bring the elbows down. Okay. Just finding all of these ways to open up the hips a little bit more. So working with where your own body is at, you have to honor that. And every body is put together in a different way and holding different stuff. Okay, so we try airplanes first, progressing if we want, purely optional. So lifting the back knee off the floor, take that Front foot in towards the midline a little bit, and then as if you're putting on the arm of a backpack, just take that left arm behind the back of the left calf. Yeah, thread it on there. Maybe tent the fingers, and as the legs are so strong supporting you, you can push forward with the heart. Push forward with the heart, keep the chest lifted. Maybe get light enough to lift the hands up off the floor, or one hand. Okay? Keep knitting the outer left thigh in toward the midline there and pressing forward with the chest. Maybe taking it into Eka Pada Koundinyasa by taking the hands into shoulder distance, chaturanga arms, elbows bent in close by the sides, and walk the left foot towards the left diagonal of the mat. Keep the heart lifted, coming down, down, down till you get light, until maybe you can catch some air. And then coming on back. Working your way through a little vinyasa there. And then taking a well-earned rest. Hope that went okay. Oh, good, so lots of fun. So that was great, but we're pretty hot. So let's try and cool things down a bit, cool the energy down. So what we're going to do is come into fire log pose or into Sukhasana. So cross-legged pose with perhaps some support under the backs of the thighs if you need it, and just coming into a forward fold. So feeling that in the outer thighs and into the hips, or perhaps fire log pose with one shin stacked on top of the other, okay? Sitting up nice and tall, and then just folding forward a little bit or a lot. You can also use the blocks here too. So just coming into a nice fold, releasing the hips again. So coming back into Ujjayi breath again. Push the right heel away from you, the top heel away from you, so there's no sickling in the ankle. See if you can soften. And then inhale, bring it back up. Let's change the crossing of the legs. Starting to slow things down a little bit now. So pushing now the left heel, the top heel away from you, folding a little bit or a lot, or easy cross-legged position. Okay, inhale, come on up. So we have a little bit of time here. I'm just trying to figure out how I can do this without going off screen. Taking a wide-legged straddle pose, taking your legs wide apart, and then just feeling behind and taking any flesh around the buttock area, bringing it out behind you so that you've got a comfortable seat. You can feel your sit bones
pressing down into the floor. And again here, coming into a forward fold for a few moments. And that forward fold can be quite upright. And do soften those knees and just be gentle with the knees, particularly if you're tight on the hammies. Okay, and then inhale, lifting up. And then see if you can bend your knees a little bit more and reach for your toes or your feet, or ideally bringing your index and thumb around your big toes. Okay? And you can just lean back till you get to the point where your legs get lighter and your feet get lighter. Then lift the heart. And then see if perhaps you can hover here with the knees bent as much as you need. And just hover here. Keep the heart lifted. Good. From the soles of the feet, draw right into the center of the pelvis. Keep that action going. Strong legs. One more. And then exhale, bring the soles of the feet in towards each other, folding forward into Pada Koundinyasa. You can round the back for this one. And then slowly make your way back onto your back for bridge. Okay, so knees bent, feet inner hip distance apart. And then simply take an inhale and lift the pelvis up off the floor, taking a clasp round underneath the pelvis there, and then draw the shoulder blades onto the back, lift the heart, press down into your heels. Good. Lifting onto the tops of the shoulders. You feel Ujjayi breath starting automatically. Move your tailbone down towards your heels. Exhale, release the hands. Gently take the pelvis to the floor. Hold it here, take a couple of breaths. And then exhale, bring it back up again. Lift the pelvis, clasp the fingers, maybe the other way, this other index finger on top. Lift the heart in towards the chin. Press down into the heels. Move the tailbone towards the heels. Exhale, release. Let the pelvis gently drop. Draw the knees towards each other, the feet wide apart, and lay on your back for a couple of rounds of breath, just letting the back settle. Okay. When you feel ready, you can hug your knees in towards your chest. We're going to just end with a simple spinal twist. So releasing the feet, shift the knees over to the right side, arms into goal post or perhaps overhead,
and looking over towards the left. Okay, then just change it over. Inhale up to center. Exhale, let the two knees drop over to the left, shift the hips to the right a little bit, and then turn the gaze over towards the right. Okay, inhale, bring the knees back up. And then you can set yourself up for Savasana if you want to put something warm on, or perhaps put a bolster behind the backs of the knees. Go ahead and do that, and just take your legs nice and wide apart. A generous Shavasana, arms wide. Gather the shoulder blades gently onto the back, and just gently relaxing back. Once again, noticing how the physical body is feeling. And let your bones get heavy and your skin soften. Feel the skin around your eyes and jaw soften. And for the last few moments, take rest, absorbing all the benefits of that tough practice. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Shavasana. Okay, so if you'd like to spend a little bit longer in Shavasana, go ahead, do. Otherwise, please prepare to rise up by bending those knees and just roll onto your right side. Gently bringing yourself up to a seat. And then gathering those hands together at the heart, bowing the head in towards the heart. And as usual, taking a breath in and releasing that practice with a long breath out through the mouth. And I'll say namaste. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next time.